Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving deep into the world of PCV valves, specifically focusing on the telltale signs of a defective one. We'll be answering all your frequently asked questions, from identifying the symptoms to understanding the potential consequences of a faulty PCV valve. So, buckle up and get ready to learn everything you need to know about this crucial engine component. The PCV valve, or positive crankcase ventilation valve, is a small but crucial component in your car's engine. Its primary function is to manage the pressure within the crankcase, the area where the crankshaft and pistons operate. As the pistons move, they create pressure inside the crankcase, which can contain a mixture of air, fuel vapor, and combustion byproducts. The PCV valve acts as a one-way valve, allowing the built-up pressure to escape from the crankcase and be routed back into the intake manifold. This process serves two important purposes: reduces emissions. By drawing the crankcase gases back into the engine, the PCV valve prevents them from being released into the atmosphere, contributing to cleaner emissions. Improves engine performance. The PCV system helps to maintain a slight vacuum within the crankcase, which reduces oil leaks and improves engine efficiency. A faulty PCV valve can cause a range of problems, affecting your car's performance and potentially leading to more serious issues. Here are some common signs that your PCV valve might need replacing. A faulty PCV valve can disrupt the air-fuel mixture, leading to incomplete combustion and increased fuel consumption. You might notice a decrease in your car's fuel economy. A malfunctioning PCV valve can cause pressure fluctuations in the crankcase, leading to rough idling or even stalling. This can be particularly noticeable when the engine is cold. The check engine light is often triggered by a faulty PCV valve, as the engine control unit detects abnormal readings from the oxygen sensors. This indicates a potential problem that requires attention. This section will be covered in a separate video dedicated to addressing frequently asked questions about PCV valves. A defective PCV valve can cause oil to accumulate in the air intake system. This is because the valve is no longer able to properly regulate the flow of crankcase gases, which can lead to an increase in pressure in the crankcase. This pressure can then force oil into the intake system, where it can mix with the air and fuel and be burned in the engine. This can lead to a number of problems, including increased emissions. The oil that is burned in the engine can contribute to increased emissions of harmful pollutants, such as carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons. Reduced engine performance. The oil that is burned in the engine can also reduce engine performance by coating the spark plugs and intake valves, which can make it more difficult for the engine to start and run smoothly. Engine damage. In severe cases, the oil that is burned in the engine can cause damage to the engine's internal components, such as the pistons and cylinders. A defective PCV valve can also cause oil leaks. This is because the valve is no longer able to properly regulate the flow of crankcase gases, which can lead to an increase in pressure in the crankcase. This pressure can then force oil out of the engine seals and gaskets, which can lead to leaks. Oil leaks can be a serious problem, as they can lead to environmental damage. Oil leaks can contaminate the environment, which can harm plants and animals. Engine damage. Oil leaks can also damage the engine, as they can lead to a loss of lubrication and cooling. Fire hazard. Oil leaks can also be a fire hazard, as they can ignite if they come into contact with a spark or flame. A defective PCV valve can also cause sludge buildup in the engine. Sludge is a thick, sticky substance that can form in the engine when oil is not properly drained and replaced. Sludge can clog the engine's oil passages, which can lead to reduced engine performance. Sludge can reduce engine performance by restricting the flow of oil to the engine's moving parts. Engine damage. Sludge can also damage the engine by causing wear and tear on the engine's internal components. Engine failure. In severe cases, sludge can cause engine failure. There are a few ways to test a PCV valve. One way is to remove the valve from the engine and shake it. If you can hear a rattling sound, the valve is probably working properly. Another way to test the valve is to connect it to a vacuum pump and see if it holds a vacuum. If the valve does not hold a vacuum, it is probably defective. You can drive with a defective PCV valve, but it is not recommended. A defective PCV valve can cause a number of problems, including increased emissions, reduced engine performance, and engine damage. If you suspect that your PCV valve is defective, it is best to have it replaced as soon as possible. The PCV valves should be changed every 30,000 to 60,000 miles. However, it is a good idea to check the valve more often if you drive in dusty or dirty conditions.